evening, folks. Welcome back. It's John Pettipas recording at 20 minutes before 12 o'clock in the evening on Sunday night, which is the 12th day of September 2021. I've never done a video so late in the night. This will be uploaded later tonight and you'll see it tomorrow. A thought occurred to me. I've taught this before and I'm looking at some things. It may or may not happen. I'm a mere mortal. I'm not God. But the title of the video is, we may have a future Prime Minister from Pictou County. We may have a future Prime Minister from Pictou County, and his name is not McKay. Got that? Sorry to disappoint all the Tories out there. His name is not McKay. Now, this is prefaced on if Trudeau does as bad as I think he may do. And excuse me a second here before a kitty cat jumps on my table here and makes my papers from my house go flying. They're very agile cat. Anyway, that's it. Healthy eater, healthy eater. They take and if Justin Trudeau loses really badly, he's gone out of there. Actually, I'm told if he loses, 10, 12, 15 seats, the caucus will kick him out. Of course, he's still probably looking at a Liberal minority because the NDP, Jitmit Singh Bird, or the Bloc will back him up, blah, blah, blah. They take, but if in a chance, and it's a long shot, if we have the Liberals go down less than 100 seats, and you have a Conservative government come in under Aaron O'Toole, and that is a long shot. In that circumstance, I'm going to be bold and stick my neck out here, that you could have Sean Fraser. He's lefty. But Sean Fraser, he got zip in him, piss and vinegar. There's something about that guy. He attracts support, respect to people so far across party lines. Obviously did it now. Fred Delory, being such a horrible, terrible candidate, made Sean Fraser possible. A stronger candidate, if the Tories had a decent candidate in 2015, even with the Trudeau sweep, it was a very Tory country. It's not a Conservative country, a very Tory country. Sean Fraser may not have won by the sweep he had. Then come 2019, when Trudeau, the rose was fading, he may have got defeated. Been out of there. But Fred Delory made Sean Fraser. And I'm not going to divulge names, about the most prominent Tory in Pictou County, well respected, has told me that. So, if the Tories tell me that, in fact, the individual told me about a month ago he felt that Sean Fraser had been re-elected. And he would be embarrassed. It was a private conversation. He certainly would never say that publicly, probably deny saying it. Anyway, back to the thing. The difficulty for Maritimer to become Prime Minister is we had the saintly Alan Jay from Cape Breton. And he ran for Liberal leader and didn't get it. Now, Alan Jay is a lot smarter than Sean Fraser. He'd be more reserved. Lots of brains, more reserved. And unfortunately, politics nowadays goes by glitz. Okay? Neither guy in this last campaign. Ian Rankin is not particularly bright. Labbick Asulis, the guy that got more votes, but because of the funny way Joseph Kilroy and David Cameron and Mike Mercer, the three devils, three horsemen of the populace for the Liberal Party in Nova Scotia. That's Joseph Kilroy, the president of the party, Provincial Nova Scotia Liberal Association. David Cameron, the know-it-all lawyer, former president of the party in Halifax, and one-time candidate here. And that little, certainly not much beggarly, not much brains, so it must be something else he does well. They take is Mike Mercer. Those three made a strange way. I'm certain that Labby Kasula's got more votes than Ian Rankin, but I digress. Labby's a very bright guy. Ian's not particularly smart. And nor is Tim Houston. And in the coming weeks and months, next couple of years, you'll see that. And Tim Houston will not serve a full 4-year term. I'm very confident of that, but I'm digressing again. That's a video for another term, and I have solid reasons for saying that. But anyway, obstacles to getting in the Liberal Party right now in Nova Scotia. Small party in a small province. Okay? the guy that just got kicked out, the car guy of Nova Scotia Health, he's given $400,000 severance. Only been there for what, a year? Not even that. Year, 15 months, and out he's gone. Almost $500,000. So the salaries they get by regular folks like me, or you, or somebody else, it seems good. But the money that's paid out there, especially in government, and some in national level, large publicly traded companies and some private companies, it's not that attractive. If the Liberal Party loses bad 1 week from tomorrow and goes into a weak position, it's going to be in opposition for 4 years, Sean Fraser from Pictou County, Nova Scotia, may well become the next Liberal leader. Okay, now Aaron O'Toole is not particularly conservative. He's conservative by virtue of comparing against Justin Trudeau. My cap here is somebody, a fine patron from Calgary, sent to me, make Canada great again. And neither one of us has any respect or love lost for Justin Trudeau. So, prefaced my comment, if the Liberals lose really rotten next Monday night, and you do by virtue of that get a Conservative majority, means the Liberal Party's come in opposition in 4 years, Sean Fraser's dynamic enough and young enough and in caucus already, he be a strong contender for Liberal leader of Canada and eventually Prime Minister. Now, the hurdles he'd face, it's a very big money game. Okay? Justin Trudeau's not in this. He's a communist little puppet. He has lots of money from Granddaddy's trust fund. Pierre Elliott was a trust fund baby. And Justin Trudeau and his half-sister and his surviving brother are trust fund grandbabies. And so money's not a factor for him. Okay, so they take but for regular people, you're not going to get people leave private industry or their business or law firm or whatever and run for Liberal leader and serve in opposition waiting for a by-election that they might win an opening or somebody to step aside, blah, blah, blah. So that's my video, okay? We may have a future Prime Minister of Pictou County, and his name is not McKay. Now that said, there's a lot of ifs, such, buts, and that's. It's not prophecy. I'm not God. I'm not a prophet. But it's conjecture. But it's a definite possibility based on if the Liberal Party under Justin Trudeau does as bad in Ontario as the protesters seem to indicate. If he loses Ontario and he's weak in British Columbia, he's going to lose several seats in Nova Scotia and several more in New Brunswick. This may come to pass. With that, I've gone on longer than I expected, and it's now about 12 and a half minutes before 12 midnight, so I better get this video checked out and upload it. Thank you for tuning in. When you see this video tomorrow, next couple of days, promote a discussion, share it around. I know it's conjecture, but you may yet have a Nova Scotia Premier. Excuse me, not a Nova Scotia Premier, a Nova Scotia Prime Minister. It's a long time since we had Nova Scotia Prime Minister. We had the guy that said best Prime Minister Canada ever had is Bob Stanfield. I don't know if that's necessarily so. He was good for Nova Scotians, no question. We would have no pulp mill in the Strait area if it wasn't for Linda O'Neill and Eastern County's development crew and working with Stanfield, working with them. He was more of a Liberal. He was not, for the time he operated in the 50s and 60s, by the values of those days, Bob Stanfield was more of a Liberal than any Conservative. He wasn't even very progressive Conservative. That guy was more of a Liberal by the times he operated in. So the last Prime Minister we've had in this country is a rootless slimebag from the Valley by the name of Robert Laird Borden. He was quite successful politically, but he was one rootless bastard. You still see him in the back of a $100 bill. With that, I got to go. So you may see Sean Fraser someday. I don't know if he'll be back with a $100 bill, but as certainly Liberal leader, and by virtue of that, young enough to be... there's something special about that guy. I met him once, and they got zip and piss and vinegar. And with that, I got to go. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless you. And this is John Pettipas again wishing you all the best. God bless. Subscribe. Share it far and wide. And get out to vote for the name of God. However you vote, get out and vote. If you don't get out there and vote, you have no right to complain. In the name of God, get out there and vote however you vote. Thank you. Good night.